The Honeywell Smart Building Score underlines the global nature of sustainability goals. The one-of-its-kind universal framework rates buildings of all shapes and sizes on three key parameters of smartness: green, safe and productive. As cities across the developed world and burgeoning urban centers in growing markets like India commit to cutting emissions, a comparison of global best practices and technologies helps set benchmarks of excellence in the building space.
It's important why an airport in India is competing with airports around the world to be a smart building, to be a smart airport. Similarly, people are mobile today. They go to different parts of the world and they'd like to have the best in the time that they spend in the buildings in their own cities in India, whether it's a home or an office or a mall or a public place or a government office. So that's why we realize that there is lots of learning that can truly go across the world. If we had a common base on which people can assess, everybody would like to know that and then decide whether I want to invest to be a little better. That's where the power of a universal framework across the world comes in.
When we looked at the score, we looked at obviously something that's got to be relevant in the Indian context, but it's also something that can be taken globally. Only then, it's easy to benchmark buildings or how the growth of higher quality building and built up space is coming up in India vis-a-vis globally. Building technologies, building practices, building design all of these are also moving across borders. So it's not, while the climatic conditions and some occupant behavioral characteristics may be unique in different countries, but having a common base of measuring buildings it's just uses then a standard benchmark. That's one. Number two is, as I said earlier, it also helps buildings really move up the score, compare themselves with buildings across, but also compare themselves with the past performance.
Certifying buildings as green is a well-known concept internationally, and it is increasingly becoming a trend with buyers as well. As one component of smart buildings, green refers to clean, renewable energy sources and the most efficient use of this energy. Eco-friendly construction materials, building management systems that monitor and control energy use, appliances that use lesser energy, and utilities that leave behind a reduced carbon imprint define the idea of green. As it turns out, going green is not only environmentally significant but also leads to economic benefits.
We have over 330 brands and it's a 2 million square feet project. It's clearly the largest retail project in the country, and for DLF it's a marquee project. We've had phenomenal success. Currently we have over 1.2 million people coming in every month, and that number is growing week on week.
The Mall of India in Noida is the first LEED Gold certified mall in North India. With inputs right from the design and development stage, it now reaps significant dividends in energy savings. We at the planning stage have really looked into how we reduce carbon footprint. DLF Mall of India is a LEED Gold certified building, and hence a lot of the building materials that has been used is eco-friendly. For example, the insulation that it has in the outer cover is with AAC blocks, which is as a material it insulates, and hence it also reduces air conditioning, and there is a 20% energy saving. So every element that we have done in this project has taken energy efficiency into account at the planning stage. The Honeywell Smart Building Score rates the green quotient of buildings on 5 factors: energy sources, utility sources, temperature control, electricity control, and utility control. Unchecked development and incomplete understanding of complex natural terrains have led to events disastrous for humankind. In this age, as we grapple with increasing demand for comfortable housing and industrial growth, safety often takes a backseat. Whether it is nature's fury or the new age threats of lawlessness and targeted cyber attacks, integrating safety and security features into buildings is the need of the hour.
we all are talking of smart cities. I think smart and safe cities is extremely important. They are linked together. Floods is one of the natural disasters, but I think more importantly or equally important is the fire safety. Many of us are not understanding how it is going to be difficult. Even in some of the DDA areas of Delhi, where people are adding floors, adding additional spaces without understanding that fire will be a major safety hazard over a period of time. This needs to be mainstream into our planning of buildings and designing of buildings.
Mapping the safety features in a building, the Honeywell Smart Building Score looks at areas like security of people, vehicle, material, fire safety, gas safety, worker safety, and disaster response. The spaces we occupy play a major role in our lifestyles today, be it through optimum use of natural light and resources or through careful planning and design. Buildings today can help people save time, stay connected, ensure peace of mind, or just enhance your mood so you're at your productive best. Author Ratna Veera, a resident of DLF Magnolias, swears by the impact of a smart home on her work process.
I love the Magnolias. It's amazing. It's awesome to live here. The facilities are fantastic. There's peace of mind. There's a fantastic view out there. You're safe. Security is fantastic. They have a backup for electricity and water, so we never feel it's seamless. Facilities are seamless. And as a writer, this is just the perfect environment that helps me churn out book after book, bestseller after bestseller.
How does a building enable productivity? The Honeywell Smart Building Score outlines the answer under the 5-point framework of indoor air and water quality, circulation of people, vehicle, material, personalization, connectivity, and energy quality. Built on these three pillars, the Honeywell Smart Building Score evaluated over 2,000 entries from 8 Indian cities in 2015. Painstakingly developed by Honeywell and EY, a unique, universally applicable framework encompassing over 120 smart features rated Indian buildings on the same standards as their international counterparts.
We started first with EY to understand what are the technologies that go into making a building smart. There were more than 120 technologies that we made a laundry list of, and then started trying to group them into attributes that they were common amongst them. So that's the process. We of course wanted to make it very simple, and therefore we really wanted to see if we can go down to maybe 3 or 4 attributes that truly define a smart building. And finally we did realize that between green, safe and productive, all those 120 plus technologies were really contributing to at least one of those 3 things, if not more than one of those 3 things. And that's how we came up with green, safe and productive. It's also a very, very human aspect to that. Being green, being safe and being productive completely makes the relevance of a smart building to a human being.
India, for the next till 2020, India is going to be the fastest growing economy in the world. So we have our macroeconomics right, we have everything going right out here. Now, where will India ape somebody else? I think it will be in the areas of roads, highways, ports, airports. How do you build some of the best infrastructure that is possible? So this is one area where India can look at it, but we just cannot ape. We will have to understand what it is and then adapt it to Indian conditions.
With a comprehensive framework in place, applicants were given the chance to find out the smartness quotient of their buildings through a simple online form.
Self-evaluation is a very important aspect of the Honeywell Smart Building Score. One of the things that we realized is that most of the building frameworks that exist around the world have a very strong need for somebody to be an expert and to really use an expert to understand whether your building is green. And we wanted to make it extremely simple, to the point that you could log on to the internet and assess for yourself whether your building is smart. And that's the objective that we started with, and it became that way in terms of self-evaluation. When we did the scores last year, the participants in the Honeywell Smart Building Score contest actually logged on and got their scores themselves. We have then, of course, extended that capability into other geographies around the world as the Honeywell Smart Building Score has moved beyond the shores of India.
From airports to hotels, residences to government offices, any kind of building one may come across was covered by the comprehensive study. This process of analysis threw up a cross-section of data, out of which 9 buildings were felicitated for their innovation and excellence in performance.
As we look at the version 2 of the Smart Building Score, which is getting rolled out this year, it has a very high element of also assessing buildings on data analytics, cyber security, personalization through mobile applications. So that itself is an evolution.
The Honeywell Smart Building Awards 2016 are back this year to dig below the surface and decode the key of getting the most out of our buildings. The journey to this discovery begins with a simple nomination at www.news18.com/smartbuildingawards. Busy roads and bright lights may depict our cities today, but maximizing the potential of our spaces is the key to building a smart future.